Be the Plume goon, should start down, need permission, now I stay real with it. Lay a one foundation, know it's gon' build, bro, I be in middle with it. Your homeboy check the cash out, smart contracts for the cash out. Everybody want smoke till I turn the dare, show you where the house at. Spun a block.
What's going on? It's Underdog Research Channel. Make sure you start right now and put this on a big screen, put this on a laptop. Do not just watch this on your phone. Plume is getting listed on Coinbase. This whole conversation today on this platform is about that announcement. Let's get into it, folks. Folks, this has been an exciting time for a lot of people, but the funny thing about it, most people don't know what Plume is. But don't worry. We're going to talk about all those things. But the most important thing I want you to get from this is not only is Plume getting listed, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to walk you through it so that you won't get hype, that you get real research, and so you can back up and help you make a decision that you want to make about this project. So let's get into this conversation. We are going to be talking about Plume, and I hope that you become a Plume goon. That's my hope for you. And this isn't a new conversation. This has been started a while back. I've been telling you for months about this particular technology called zero knowledge technology. And I just want to touch on that because before I get into the significance of this listing potential with Coinbase, I want to make sure you understand this is still a part of the same conversation, just a different technology. So let's get into this announcement. So we're going to talk about recently, I told you about the zero knowledge profits, crypto technologies I've been discussing for months. No one was talking about it. I told you that Coinbase has a listing for Plume. People aren't paying attention, but I'm going to tell you why. I told you months ago that there is a connection between, you see right here, Coinbase and Plume, Brian Armstrong and Chris Yen. But I didn't want to say this announcement was going to happen until I could show you the significance of the project. And then it came. All of it came together, and that's what we're going to talk today on this live. I want you to be able to see this for yourself. So let's get right into it. In the last conversation we had, I gave you this announcement about Coinbase listing Plume. Now, where did I get that information from? You want to know that a lot of times people hype up things and say, hey, Coinbase, win Binance. Coinbase is one of the biggest and the baddest in the crypto sphere for exchanges. Coinbase also has stock. Now, Coinbase is huge for most U.S. investors, but people look at Coinbase because the strictest part of Coinbase is getting listed. You have to have certain potential. Plume only was listed a few months ago and it came out. Now it's already on Coinbase, it's already on Binance, but where does this information come from? Let's talk about this and then we'll go backwards and I'll tell you the significance of this. So I saw this listing December the 2nd, 2025 at 2:14 p.m. Pay attention to the time. In a Chinese post called Chain Catcher, I converted to English so you can read it. It says, Coinbase listing roadmap adds 5 new cryptocurrencies, including Jupiter, Plume, and WET. So we see right there this first listing, but I'm about sources. So I said, let's make sure that we got these sources. So let me walk you through the sources and pay attention to the time and what parts of the world first announced this. That's going to be important. Then at 2:50 p.m., this is what we find. China also says, from a Chinese website called Wu Blockchain, Wushu, which is their exchange, learned that Coinbase has announced the addition of Humidify, ZK Pass. Yes, that's a zero knowledge technology, but that's not the conversation today. And Plume. This is at 2:50 p.m. 2,500 people saw this post. So I wanted to go deeper, and this is what I saw. This particular post that we saw at 2:50 from a Chinese website also gave a link to this post right here because they said they just learned it. 8 minutes before this time frame, I want you to see that at 8 minutes before this, they saw this, Chinese website saw that Coinbase Markets announced 5 cryptocurrencies that will be listed on Coinbase. Plume is right there. This had 528,000 views. So listen, folks, this is how I look at all researchable things. There's hype and there's research. I learned about it first through a Chinese website. We have to research our facts to make sure it's linked to real information. And they link it to this thing called Coinbase Market with 528,000 views. And they said they had just learned 8 minutes later at 2:50 p.m. And this is who they learned it from. So who is Coinbase Markets? Let's talk about that. Coinbase Market specifically shows at 2:42 p.m., 520,000 views that the Ethereum network contract address for the Plume that they're referring to is this one right here, ending in EA541. This is at 2:42 p.m. So I want you to see the math, folks. It's important. You might think, Underdog, I don't get it. It's a listing. Listen, I've seen it time and time again. People talk about something's released on Coinbase and it's fake news. We can't just use one source. We need multiple sources and need to see continuity. And I'm going to bring it all the way so you can make a determination if this is something that you're interested in. So we see that 2:14 p.m. Chinese website announces it. We see that at 2:50 p.m. Chinese website says 8 minutes later that they are announcing it. They learned it from Coinbase Markets. Coinbase Markets right there. 1 minute later, after Coinbase Markets states that this comes live, they give the exact contract address for the Ethereum deployment contract for Plume. And then let's talk about Coinbase Markets. Coinbase Markets has 1.4 million followers, and it shows support. And it says at Coinbase support. Coinbase support shows this as well. From the Coinbase Markets, it shows that at 2:42 p.m., 549,600 people saw that the Plume will be listed on Coinbase. They give a reference to Coinbase support, which is 358,100 followers. I know you're thinking, Underdog, you're giving us a lot of data about this listing. We have to make sure this is right before we get excited, folks, because if we can verify that this is right, so far we got 4 sources saying the same thing, then this is huge news. Did Brian Armstrong of Coinbase make this announcement about Plume? So let's find out. Now that we have went through where it came from, that's called the provenance. Let me show you this. Coinbase itself, I researched this. On July 1st, 2022, Coinbase says that to post only assets we have decided to list, we'll continue to post those assets we have affirmatively decided to list to the roadmap section. As a part of an effort to increase transparency by providing as much information, symmetry as possible, Coinbase will be using this blog post to communicate when we have made a decision to list an asset. So folks, this is Coinbase website. Let me show you what they listed on December the 2nd of 2025. This is what they listed on this blog from the official Coinbase site. Folks, I am happy to tell you on December 2nd, 2025, Coinbase updated their blog, which says number 3 ERC token Plume will be listed on Coinbase. And they provided a Coinbase address from the Ethereum contract, which matched the coin market cap that they also stated, as I was coin market post that we saw earlier, which matches exactly. So now I can definitively tell you that Coinbase is listing Plume on their network. Are y'all ready to get started now that we have it confirmed? Woo! Let's get into it. So folks, this is huge news. Where could you get Plume before Coinbase? And I'm going to tell you why this is important. This conversation right now is not about just the listing itself. I'm going to be giving you additional information. I want you to understand the significance of the Coinbase listing other than the other listings they've had previous to this. Before this announcement came out, Plume had just came out a few months ago. I'm one of the first people to tell you about Plume, and let's talk about it. Crypto.com listed Plume. Not a lot of liquidity on it, but a lot of people went to Crypto.com to get it. Coinbase wallet listed Plume. This is the decentralized wallet, had listed Plume. There's 3 contract addresses, one of them being Ethereum, and you could get Plume right now on the wallet. Now Coinbase, the centralized wallet, is listing Plume. And finally, Uniswap has a deployment contract for Plume. If you're a U.S. citizen or someone who can't access some of the foreign countries, such as Binance, you can use those 4 sites I just gave you: Coinbase, Coinbase Wallet. You can also use Crypto.com and Uniswap to get Plume. Plume also stated this to us. I want you to know I confirmed on Plume's website. Right here, you can see it. 947,100 followers. Plume listed this about 2 months ago. Coming soon, Coinbase. And they have green candles all the way to the top. Now, folks, we're going to get into the significance of this, but this is what I want you to do right now. This project came from nowhere. Scan this QR code, because I told you about this, and you can become an Underdog research member so you can get in these type of projects before they get listed on major sites like Coinbase. Now, I can't tell you how to trade. This is not a crypto trading platform. This is a crypto research platform. I want you to use this to put yourself in a position to win. Sometimes we win big, sometimes we don't win. That is crypto. But you don't get hype here. You're going to get research over the hype. Join the members, because the members have been seeing this for months. They saw this happening way before. And in the open community, you heard of this too through the Connected series. But let's talk about this, folks. And then I'm going to get to you. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but this is what I saw. We saw other listings. Bitcoin World on December 2nd, 2025 says unveiling the future of Coinbase listing roadmaps, adds 5 exciting cryptocurrencies. And here they talk about Plume. Now, I want you to notice right above that, if you look at ZKP, almost certainly related to zero knowledge proof technology, a critical innovation for enhancing blockchain privacy and scalability. Folks, are you seeing the writing on the wall? Didn't I tell you this year, before this year started, I told you in 2024, I said my whole conversation throughout 2025 through 2026 will be 3 major categories. What will those major categories be? Let me remind you. Zero knowledge proof technologies. Second, digital identity ownership and verification. Now, what I'm talking about here is projects like Mocha Project that allow you to verify KYC, regulatory compliance. These are the major categories. The tokens, I'm not so much worried about. The tokens will come, but if you don't understand the categories, which are going to be building the on-ramp for institutional investors, then you are only thinking as a retail buyer. And I'm going to tell you today, right now, why that's so important. I'm so excited about this. Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to get started, but I want to look at some other things that I think is important. Now, before I do all that, I've been going off. I'm going to look at you in a chat room. How's everybody doing today? I hope y'all doing good. And I'm going to see who's checked in with me, because today I gave you what I wanted to give you. I announced to you that CoinMarketCap is coming to list this. That's not the point about CoinMarketCap. Coinbase is going to list Plume. But when is that going to happen? Why that's important? And what did you learn before you got to this point is essential. It being 2 cents right now is essential. And what is the negative information that you need to know? Because it's not all fun and games and ups. It also has risk. And I'm here to share with you the good and the bad. This is not about shilling. This is not about FUD. This is putting you in a position to win. Researchable information. So before I get started, let's see who's here. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Let's see who's here with us before we continue with the Plume conversation. We have Ricky Romero. I literally dropped 4 racks at 2 cents bullish on Plume. Man, that's going to be a big, big deal. Well, I'm going to talk about that, Ricky, in 1 second, too. I like it. I like it. This is my personal perspective, folks. I'm giving you my personal perspective. I like what Ricky's doing here. Oh, thank you very much, Tevin King. $10. Greetings. This is my first time watching one of your live streams, but before that, I watched 3 of your videos. I just have one question. Which exchange you use to buy Plume token? Okay, thank you, Tevin. Now, I don't provide specific information about my holdings and where I purchase because it's a OPSEC security issue. However, in the video, I just gave you 4 different places in which you can obtain it. You can go to Uniswap. You can go to Coinbase wallet. You can go to Coinbase, and you also can go to crypto.com. And then there's other sites too on the markets you can see you can obtain it. Now, right now, it appears to me that there might be a little bit more liquidity in Uniswap, but that's just for right now. It changes every day. Sometimes crypto.com has a little bit more liquidity. And then you look at the future, definitely when Coinbase launches its listing, I foresee, since it's centralized, more people will likely use that. But again, I think those are some good options. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Let's see, we got Mr. Bayer. And by the way, thank you for the super chat. I got a super chat for $10. Folks, let me bring this up just so that you're aware of this. I really appreciate when you are supporting the content, supporting me, and all the time it takes. I really appreciate that. If you want to become a member, press join. Share this with others. It's 66 cents for the top membership, and you get exclusive content. Right now, we got the Swift Coin series. I'm about to start because you voted into the Plume series, and I'm going to go deeper than anybody ever goes so you can be in a position to understand the project, not just crypto trade. I don't do crypto trading. I do crypto research. So thank you very much for sending that $10. I appreciate you supporting me. That same $10 is a membership. For 66 cents, the top membership is $19.99. You are able to get exclusive content for those followers. So make sure that you do that. Here's the QR code that you can scan if you are interested in that. Now let's go to Mr. Bayards. What's going on? Underdog, back at it, bringing that alpha. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. I'm excited, folks. I'll tell you why in just a second, but thank you, E, for showing your support. We also have here, I have pen and paper in hand to take some notes. Tevin, I'm telling you, I love it. We're going to get into a little bit of alpha that I've talked about before we even got to this point. So just stick with me. I just want to make sure I greet everyone who took the time out on Sunday to come join. We also have most Coinbase new listings get a good rally. Absolutely. Listen, folks, these are not crypto trading advice. I see negative comments left on my platform at times. I really don't understand why, because you're in the most volatile thing ever known to man is crypto. Content creators continue to tell you that we are not financial advisors. And if you're getting free advice on a YouTube video or somewhere else, and you're not willing to put money forth to a financial advisor and pay them their fees associated with it, then that means you are not a crypto trader. You're a crypto gambler. Please. I cannot give you financial advice. I give you research. But what is being said here by Ricky Romero has been typically true. The first time something gets listed on Coinbase, you have some good things that continue to happen. Now, not always, but most of the time. And I'm going to talk about that today in my video, but that is true. So right now it's at 2 cents. I can't tell you if it's going to go to 3 cents or it's going to go down. That is not my job to do. Not one signal will be provided to you on this platform. Not one one-time macro D, MACD. I don't tell you about any of that stuff. Go to a signal platform for that. But if you want to understand the behind the scenes institutional conversations, who it's connected to, then stick with me, folks. We're about to get into that. So I like that, what you're saying, Ricky. All right, Kraken app has Plume. Kraken app has Plume too. So now we got another one. See, you keep more and more. Might be a good idea to front run this. Underdog ain't saying that, but our dude is ready. We see you, Underdog. Thank you very much, E. I appreciate that. Listen, This is one of those things, folks. I'm going to give you all the research I can about it. At the end of it, it is your money. You make the decision. Don't be coming back if it goes down and like, Underdog, you said. Only thing I can do is tell you what the project does, tell you about the behind the scenes, the connections, and tell you what I see. I can give you my personal perspectives, but I often don't even give you that. So if you like the technology and you're looking for the long haul, then consider it. If you don't, then do not watch and do not use this platform to help you crypto trade. I can't stress that enough. I want you to win, but it's your money. All right. We got Tevin, Ricky. Thank you very much. No, thank you. I appreciate you. And Situation Brothers, sub to your channel. Thank you very much, Detroit XRP. I got some stuff about XRP too, so hold on. I got some stuff for you. And we got Jay Shear. We ready, brother? Hey, man, thank you for coming. I see you've been supporting me on X as well. Folks, if you see me on X, subscribe, share this information. I do something different. I give you research, no hype. I give you things that you can look up. That's why I ask you to put these things to big screen so you can see all the time I take into the details. That will help you. If you get people hyping to you, they're telling you what you want to hear. That doesn't mean that's good for you. Again, most of the time we win. Sometimes we don't. But that's the point. I want you to be aware of the project, and that's what everybody should want to do. I get nothing from this besides giving you information I researched for myself. And last but not least, before we get into the rest of it, we got, what are your thoughts on the token unlocks that are coming? I think already priced in. I love it. So let me make a quick comment about that, Ricky, and then I'm going to get back to the rest of this conversation about this announcement. So there were a few months ago, just very few months ago, and I don't have it pulled up, so don't quote me exactly, only like 25% of the tokens released, leaving a huge amount left to be unlocked. And who were the first buyers? Institutional investors and big whales and everybody else. What does that mean for risk? Which is one of the things they're going to bring up. Is it a potential that those, as the unlocks come and it dumps more coins into the market, that there could be a price where it goes down? Absolutely. Absolutely. How? Now, at the same time, it goes back to what I like to tell people about why you should watch this platform. Not one time will you see me pull up a chart to tell you what happened the last minute, last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes. It is irrelevant to me, and it should be irrelevant to you if your investment strategy is based off of your personal thoughts of the technology industry is in. What does it matter if someone's going to collect their money back from an institutional rail and you brought in at 13 cents and it drops down to 2 cents like we've seen now? It released at 6 cents and it dropped down to 4 cents. Everybody's going to have a different entry, and token unlocks will continue to have buyers and sellers. Now, here's the thing about it. After you look past all that, if you're not a crypto trader who is looking daily, in my opinion, to look at, hey, I want to make 20% off this token, I want to make this much off of it. Most of us are crypto hodlers anyway. It doesn't matter if it skyrockets up unless you see it go above the price you entered and you choose on your own to make a decision to trade it a penny above, 20 cents above, or 5 cents above. That's the only time for me charts matter, is my exits and entries. Other than that, I am purchasing tokens based on my personal understanding of the technology, what I believe it will do in the next 5, 10, or 20 years. If you believe in RWAs, which is a huge general category, if you like projects like Ondo, if you believe institutional investors will continue to be rich and continue to put themselves, companies, in the best position to win, if you believe that things like the SEC approving Plume to being one of their transfer agents is important for securities as a product, if this is your belief, then you're in the right space. However, if you're buying Plume because it's 2 cents today, and you're hoping it'll flip to 4 cents, and then it's a month and it doesn't flip to 4 cents, And then you start to, oh my God, I think it's, and then it goes down to 1 cent. You're like, oh my God, do not purchase Plume. In my professional and personal opinion, I cannot give you advice about what you choose to do. That's my personal opinion. But I think that people should really have a realistic aspect of crypto trading. Are you a crypto trader, or are you a crypto hodler, or are you a crypto gambler? 90% of the people that come to my platforms who know that what I provide are crypto hodlers who are researching a project. The 10% who have the most problem with it are people who are crypto gamblers who only believe the markets go up, and people who say they're crypto traders, retail traders, who don't understand how markets work. That's the ones who have a problem. So I believe in putting price action for ups and downs. The token unlocks will affect price action. If that scares you, Plume is not a project you should get into, in my personal opinion. But I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your daddy. I'm only can tell you what I see. All right. So let's get into it, folks. Thank you for that. Let's get back into the conversation for today. So let's talk about this. We're going to jump around a little bit, and I'm going to be checking in with you. Folks, months ago, I told you that Plume, what's its connection to Zero Knowledge Technologies? It has an underlying company called ZKMe. ZKMe uses Zero Knowledge Technologies to verify information without exposing information, which is called Zero Knowledge Proofs. Mocha Coin, which you may or may not have ever heard of before, and I don't have a picture of it here, also uses this Zero Knowledge technology. Why is that important? Because you're probably thinking, Underdog, why is that important? We're talking about Plume listing on Coinbase, but it's not just about Plume listing on Coinbase. It's about understanding why. Let me show you why, and why I knew this was going to happen. This right here is a post. Let's read it together. Assets under consideration lists digital assets not currently included in a grayscale investment product, but identified by our team as possible candidates for inclusion in a future product. Plume. Now, I want you to understand, right above it says Jupiter, and right above it says Hyperliquid. Now, do you think that's a coincidence? That is the exact same projects that were stated to be listed. Let me show it to you right here. Watch, look at what it says. This is December the 2nd of 2025. You find out that they have announced addition of Plume, Hyper, and Jupiter. I told you about this connection to grayscale, considering it. Look right there above that, right there on the right-hand side. Make sure this is big so you can see it. I show you Plume, but look above it, Jupiter and Hyperliquid as well. Now, this is not a coincidence. The thing about it is, who is behind Grayscale? Peter Mintzberg. Who is behind Peter Mintzberg? Barry Silbert. Why does that matter? Barry Silbert is over Digital Currency Group. Barry Silbert is a crypto billionaire. Barry Silbert was the founder of Grayscale. And Grayscale is one of the largest asset managers in the industry. Peter Mintzberg used to work for BlackRock as an executive. He did global finance and also railed in companies and industries from around the world. They put him as the CEO. Grayscale was the first person, first company to fight the fight to make a Bitcoin ETF. If it wasn't for Barry Silbert or Grayscale, we wouldn't be having a conversation today. They won that legal battle 3 years ago, way before XRP won their battle. They, Grayscale, were the reason that we today have ETFs in crypto. BlackRock even quoted and stated, If it wasn't for them being the innovators of this, we wouldn't be here today. Larry Fink of BlackRock, let's keep going because you understand, which I told you about in the Connected series. Now that's Andreessen Horowitz A16Z, and you see right there in 3.2 where I discuss that. QR codes at the top. You want to become a member, scan that. We discussed this, and I told you, and I'll show you right here, there's a connection. There was something that I saw in the writing that you need to understand. This Coinbase listing is not a coincidence. That is a retail mindset. The problem with most people that they don't quite understand is the connections to BlackRock and why we saw this months ago. I mean, Plume came out maybe a month before I did my first video. This is what you found out if you was a member. I showed you that Dragonfly Capital, which is a part of a crypto project that we discussed, a different crypto project, invested. And I told you the three things that they led up. One of them was Polygon. One of them was Avalanche. And another one was Aptos. Now, you might think, what does that have to do with Plume? Stay with me. You got to pay attention to these things. Dragonfly Capital invested, and that's their CEO, Dragonfly Capital, into zero knowledge technologies. Why is that important? If you look at the 7 projects that consist of the Build project, of those 7 projects that you see right there, 3 of the 7 were from Dragonfly Capital, led that. But you need to know that almost every single one of them, other than Optimism, the project you see in red right there at the top in that triangle, is underlying or connected to zero knowledge proofs. Why does that matter? I promise you we're getting to Plume's listing on Coinbase. You got to want to know if you truly want to understand your investment. Otherwise, you're looking at price action, which tells you nothing about the project, only about markets, about who's buying and who's selling. Let's talk about why it's getting listed, and that you determine whether or not you like that or don't like that. Look at what you see. 7 of these projects are part of the BlackRock build. Now, if you see that line, I made this map for you, got Larry Fink and BlackRock. We see that you have these 7 projects which have liquidity at the time in which I did it of $2.9 billion as a product for institutional investors. And Plume, through a collaboration through Elixir, has the ability to use a product called Nest. Nest is the only way a retail investor can get yield from an institutional product. Now, that was a lot of stuff. You might consider a word salad. Let me tell you, it is not. If you're a regular retail investor like you or me, and you were to go to BlackRock, let me knock on the imaginary door. Knock, 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 BlackRock. I'm a regular retail investor, and I heard that you're the biggest and baddest. I would like to get yield from one of the products that you offer your $1 billion clients and your $1 million clients, your high earning clients, like Elon Musk type clients. I want to get that too. They'll look at you and they will laugh. Not only can they not sell you a product, their products are exclusively for institutional investors and high yield earning investors. We're talking about the billions and millionaires. You're not a billionaire or millionaire, therefore you can't get it. A bank could get it. A company with a lot of money could get this product, but you can't get any yield. Your dollar remains a dollar, but a bank spends the same dollar that looks like your dollar. The BlackRock Build will say, hey, you can get this. We will allow you to invest millions of dollars, and here's our return on that investment. Now, what Plume did, why it matters to you, is Plume says, we want to do something for retail investors, but right now, we can't care about you retail investors. I know it hurts. I know you want to be the most important thing in the room, but that's just not the way it works in the world. Capitalism isn't always about you in the middle class, even though we probably support most of the money. It is sometimes, and most of the times, about these big deals are happening. So they said, hey, listen, retail investors, we got you. Just hold up. Hey, BlackRock, I'm Christian with Plume. This is what we'll do. You want to leave money on the table, BlackRock? Listen. This is what we do. We can take things that are illiquid, that don't have value, and we can make them liquid. Now, BlackRock say, what do you mean by that? I don't get it. How can you make something illiquid liquid? And Plume says, well, this is what we'll do, BlackRock. We will take someone's car payment. Hold up, BlackRock. Hear me out. We will take someone's car payment or house payment. And let's say that car costs $20,000. And let's say that house costs $100,000. Now, I know there's no house that's worth $100,000, but just stick with me, folks. And this is what we'll do. We will do this. We're going to let them make a down payment on that house of $10,000 and a down payment on that car of $1,000. Now, let's talk about why that matters. Now, if they take $10,000 and put it on a house worth $100,000, 10 to go in 100, how many times? 10 times, right? So now they have how much of value of that house, right? Now we're going to take that part that they wouldn't be able to get any equity out of, and we're going to tokenize it. Hear me out, BlackRock. You can do this for your customers. Imagine that they own 1/10 of their house and they don't have a lot, but they put that down payment of $10,000. BlackRock, we're going to divide that house value up. 90% of it goes to the mortgage because the bank still owns it, but they put $10,000 on it. So we're going to break that up into tokens, tokenization. And they're living in a nice spot in Mississippi and Florida. These people all over the world. Imagine if we were to tokenize that part, and then you, BlackRock, you're the biggest and baddest. You sell that 10% in little tiny shares to your shareholders. And look, the prices of houses are going up, right? So this is our math. We figure as long as the house prices continue to rise in value, you bought it on December the 7th of 2025. By December the, 2026 on December the 7th, did it go up in value? If it went up in value, everybody who bought their shares and hodled their tokens, your clients can increase their yield. And at the end of that year, if it performs well, if the value of that house goes up, your token value goes up. We can do this through tokenization, but you can't do it if you only give them a loan. You see, BlackRock, if you only give that person a loan, they owe debt. They have no upside. They put down $10,000 of a down payment. There's no upside, BlackRock. So how about this? And BlackRock thought about it. And they're like, whoa, this is a new asset. This is a new asset set. We can make money off this. So you mean to tell me, Plume, if I have a building that's worth $2 billion and the client owns a billion in debt, but they have equity about $1 billion, we can break it down in all these tokenizations and people can buy product. And if that building goes up in value, then I can sell it and make a profit. I need this as an asset class that I offer my clients. You mean I don't even have to own the tokens? I can give them basically like a stock where they have value. That is what Plume did. And they did it through a thing called Nest. So what we see here, folks, why this is a matter with Coinbase, what we see here is an intentional investors loop connecting you to institutional rails that Plume is allowing through this partnership through a company called Elixir. They created a product called Nest, which connects to BlackRock Build, and BlackRock Build connects to 7 cryptocurrencies. Folks, what you need to understand is without holding one token, BlackRock, Grayscale, Blackstone can give yield and upside to their institutional investors. So the question is, do you believe That connection is enough so that now that Coinbase has listed it, Plume, for retail investors, that the project, if you get in at 2 cents, has an opportunity to grow from 2 cents. I need you to imagine this, folks. It listed and was first released at 6 cents. Since the last few months, before crypto went from 125,000 down to below $85,000, at its height, we're looking at 13 cents or more, 16 cents or more. Is it going to go from 2 cents back up to 16 cents with the Coinbase listing at minimum? If you believe that that could happen because of a Coinbase listing, if you believe that when crypto goes back up, Bitcoin starts to go back up to its all-time high, if Plume on an Ethereum rail can go up to 16 cents, then let's do the math. 4 cents, it just doubled. 6 cents, it just doubled. 8 cents, it just doubled. 10 cents, 12 cents, 14 and 16. Two are going to 16 how many times, folks? Well, you have an opportunity, in my personal opinion, I can't give you advice, but it's potentially an 8x just if it goes up with a Coinbase listing in the next year. Now, if you choose to hold on it for a year, if it goes up in the next year or 2 years, 2 cents to 16 cents, back to where it was just a couple of months ago, then you have a likely potential of an 8x right there. Now, my math might be a little bit off, but I'm just trying to get you to understand. That is if you're focused on price action, but I want you to think about the bigger picture. And then we're going to keep going, folks, into this conversation. Excuse me. Now, we got Plume here, and I told you about it, A16 Horowitz. We got A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz, and I showed you the connection. You can go to my series right now, the Connected series, Connected Bytes and Connected Tissue. There's so much information. I broke it down, and so you don't just see the trees, you don't just see the forest, you see the roots. If you can see the roots, you can understand it. There's big investors who are behind real world assets. Now, this is what I need you to understand. Plume is secured with something called zero knowledge proofs, zero knowledge technologies. I'm going to say it until you get sick of hearing it. I want you to get to the point every time you see me, oh my God, Underdog's talking about zero knowledge proofs again. I don't know why you're talking about it, because now that I've hit it over and over again, you recognize it. Before, many of you didn't recognize ZKPs existed. You didn't know what it was. Just look at it now. Now, when you hear ZKPs, you're paying attention. You're paying attention. Now, this is what you need to see with this. Let's talk about that importance. This is what I told you months ago. I'm going to play something for you. This is Black Rue Investing and me talking about the importance of this connection with institutional rails. This is what he said and I said about this on October the 20th of 2025. Check this out, folks. $0.9 billion in the build. Look at the nest. Look at Elixir. So you change your Plume tokens to PUSD. It keeps stablecoin value. You don't lose nothing. If you put $1 in, you still got $1. The only thing you're doing now is look to the right where you see those green, is deciding as a retail investor how much yield and how much risk, and meaning what's the potential. So you got stablecoin nest.
This is why Donald Trump's agency has their own stablecoin. Everybody who's going to be a player has their own stablecoin. And remember what we learned from the Cybos. So these stablecoins directly connect back to the central bank.
That's a good point. And just so you know, you said Donald Trump, USD1 World Liberty Finance has a partnership with Plume right now. Chris Yen met with Trump a few months ago, and USD1 World Liberty Finance stablecoin are already partnered, and their price went up 10% when the partnership was announced.
Wow, brother, you're killing me with this one. I'm gonna have to get some clues tonight.
You're gonna have to watch the Connected series, Black Rue. So, and the thing about this, such a bigger story here too. So, what was I saying there? Folks, this is not about politics, but unfortunately, just the nature of things, we are very political in the way that most people think, but big investors don't think that way. But if you're middle class or lower middle class, it's more about social capital. It's the belief that we're like those rich, wealthy people. You're not. They're not inviting you over to dinner, a Sunday dinner. This is one thing you can bet on. Why is this important? The thing you can bet on is that institutional investors, the big companies, not you, are going to be greedy. You can bet on that. You're not a part of that clique, even though you want to be a part of it. You want to wear the Gucci, the Versace, you want to drive the fast cars, but you are not a part of that. Otherwise, you will be paying a financial advisor right now up to 25% of your profits, and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. If that's not you, you wouldn't be watching Underdog Research channel, YouTube channel, and purchasing these things when you feel that it's something you're interested in. You would be paying somebody big bucks to do your trading for you. So, if you're watching this, you're likely more like in our category that I represent, and that's people understanding the nature of the things. As long as institutional investors are greedy and they look out for their own self-interest, institutional investors, if you can recognize that, you may be able to play the game and get on that the crumbs, and those crumbs for you are big money. Now, I told you there, and I'll tell you again, this is not a coincidence. In fact, as I was telling Black Rue, there is a connection. Let me show you this connection right here. The current president of the United States has a partnership with Plume. Now, when I tell this to people, you got people who will like or not like the project based on their like or dislike for the president. My comment is not about whether or not I like the president. My comment is based on the researchable information. It's this true information. The president of the United States, through his company, World Liberty Finance, and Plume, their stablecoin, have a partnership together. You can look that up. Chris Yin and his other co-founder, I went to Washington, D.C. There's also pictures with Chris Yin and J.D. Vance. This is important. And why it's important is this. Folks, as long as institutional investors are greedy, then you can see these things and take the risk that goes with it if you so choose. Just like earlier, let me bring up this comment that was said about Plume. Let's bring it up because it's so important. Let me go to the very top. It was one of the first ones that was made. If I can find it for you, it's talking about the token unlocks. Here we go. What are your thoughts of the token unlocks that are coming? I think it's already priced in. Listen, there's no way anybody can tell you the upside and not tell you the downsides. Crypto is purple. That is true. But companies will do whatever is in their best interest to survive during the current administration. When new administration comes, they will adjust because they want to survive. If you were drowning and you had a boat and somebody else was drowning beside you, the laws even say that if you have to fight, which may cause injury to the other person, in order to be the only person on a single boat that only one of you could carry, you may be covered under that depending on the circumstances, because our mindset about surviving is not a regular mindset. These companies want to survive. Why is that important? Because Coinbase is listing Plume. And when is that going to happen? 1 to 6 weeks. So I'm bringing this up because I want to make sure that you understand this. Plume is an SEC approved product. Do you think it was a coincidence that Chris Yin and the other co-founders met with the president of the United States, had a partnership with World Liberty Finance with their stablecoin, and then all of a sudden the SEC approved them? I don't know about you. I don't believe in that many coincidences. I told you about that. So make sure you're watching the CyberPaw podcast. This is the things that I tell you in these podcasts. I'm giving this information audio. I'm giving you the information in video, but that's one of the big things that you need to understand. Let's talk about this too. Plume token power. The people don't really understand that Plume talks about real world assets. You know what the number one real world asset is? It is the stable coin. That is important. The stable coin, most people don't understand, is a real world asset. It has no intrinsic value other than what it's supposed to be backed by. The Genius Act allowed the stable coins to be something of value in the United States. Pay attention. This is important. Now, why is that important? Let's talk about what I told you about Plume token explained in the CyberPaw podcast. Let me give you another clip and let's talk about this real quick. This is again, is October the 20th, 2025. Let's bring this up again. What the Plume is something that now that we're in the space, I almost feel that the coverage of it is far less than needs to be. I mean, I believe that sometimes content creators don't tackle things that are difficult to explain. It's easier to talk about meme coins than it is to talk about tokenization. People need to understand about Plume is they're not just creating a network. See, that anybody can create a network. They are creating the institutional legal framework to onboard compliance and regulation for institutional investors. Now, it hurts, guys, to be cut out of it. Listen, we've been talking about this too long. Crypto's coming. Crypto's on the way. It's about to happen. Adoption. I've said it in a video 3 years ago. Pre-search before you research. Legal compliance has to be in order before anything can be adopted. Plume is giving institutional investors, not retail investors, a way to give exposures to crypto without their clients holding one token. All right, folks. Now, I'm going through this because this whole conversation that I have for you today is simple. This is not my coverage of Plume. I've been covering Plume. Right now, I looked online. 0 content creators, 0 have made the announcement on YouTube or other major video platforms about Plume being listed on Coinbase. I must admit, I'm a little dumbfounded by it. I don't understand it. I should not be the only person in the space who continues to talk about Plume. Now, I have had a few people come to the platform and they're telling me how, hey, Underdog, I've lost all my money in Plume, and I don't get it because Plume was just open 8 months ago, and the only way you can lose all your money in something is if you sold at a loss. And if you're a hodler, that's against what you're supposed to do anyway. You're hodling, hoping that you hold it long enough. Hold on for dear life, right? Until it's above your entry. So anybody who buys something at 6 cents or 13 cents and it recedes down to 2 cents, I just don't have it in me to sell anything at a loss. I just don't have it. I just don't understand how people do it. I don't understand them. I don't relate to it, but that means that they're watching some crypto trading platform and they don't see the value in it. I feel like the people who come to this platform are super intelligent. I feel like the people who say, you know what, I'm gonna pay 66 cents a day, $19.99 a month to get an exclusive content so that I can become in the know, because I feel that if I spend, and this is me, you tell me if I'm wrong. I'm love to hear from you. This is a live, so I want you to tell me your thoughts. I just don't understand the logic, folks, of this. Plume is listed on Binance. Plume is SEC approved as a transfer agent. Plume has connections to the current administration, president, vice president. Plume has just got a upcoming listing on Coinbase. Plume is already on crypto.com, Kraken, Uniswap, and other major brand companies. Plume is connected to institutional rails like BlackRock, being considered by Grayscale. Plume has zero knowledge technologies. I just don't get it, other than people not understanding the technology. But see, because confused minds don't buy. If you don't understand something and it doesn't sound sexy to you, then you may ignore it. See, it's easier, as I told Black Rue and other people I've talked about, it's easier to talk about a meme coin because they're hype based and you can make them exciting. But most people don't even want to admit that they don't understand what real world assets mean. And that's the problem, is you have to invest where you better understand the project. But if you don't try to learn it, how can you know what you need? I didn't think that people would clearly understand zero knowledge proofs when I first started talking about it. But I figured that you're intelligent human beings, that you would get exposed to it enough through my platform that when I say ZKPs now, 8 months later, you're like, oh, zero knowledge proofs. I don't really understand the technology, but I understand that it secures stuff for privacy and security. Plume is the #1 real world asset project in the world. That's even bigger than Ondo. So if you have all this positivity and you understand the risk, yes, the tokens hadn't all been released, and your price action will go down. And when crypto went down from 125,000 Bitcoin to underneath 85,000, if anybody is still saying, I wonder why it went down, I don't understand it, because you understand this. Here's the thing. Plume, as I shared with you, go to my platform, I did a big announcement. Less than 3 to 4 weeks ago, I did this video, Plume Big Dinero Deal, where Plume acquired a cryptocurrency project called Dinero. And you may not have heard of Dinero. It used to be called Butterfly. Now, what does Dinero do? Let me show you. I showed you this loop. This loop has to deal with Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Plume and Dinero. Plume accelerating institutional ETH, Solana, and Bitcoin expansion. Folks, read the writing on the wall. Again, I cannot give you crypto advice. I won't give you crypto advice. This is a crypto research platform. We can agree or disagree. That is up to you. It's not up to me. I'm just sharing this with you. They acquired a project that accelerates institutional. We're not talking about retail. So every time someone leaves a comment on my platform, they say, Underdog, Plume don't care about retail investors. Absolutely not. I get it. They have an avenue to obtain retail investor money. They tell you that they don't care about retail investors. They care about institutional investors. And you should care too. Because if you believe in capitalism and you understand that all these big investors take all of our little money and put it together to make big money, and they've been doing that for all your stock companies, all your bond companies, you give up your little bit and it gives them a lot. And look how much you get back. How much do you get back in your bank account in interest every month? You know, when they drop those 2 pennies in your bank account, this is your interest. They'll drop 2 pennies, 3 pennies, 10 cents if you have a lot of money into your bank account, because that's the amount of interest. What do you think they do when you have a 401k? They take your money and they put it on the stock market. I just wish people really understand here. I can't tell you whether or not Plume is going to do great. All I can say is right now, Plume acquired Dinero. You don't need to understand Dinero. All you need to understand is, do you believe in Solana, ETH, and Bitcoin? For institutional investors, who are the people that would be helpful for? Maybe Grayscale, who said they're considering Plume. They're trying to do it for institutional investors. Why would that matter? Let's see here. Maybe BlackRock, since BlackRock already utilized them. Plume. So I'm thinking to myself, if BlackRock already uses Plume for institutional investors and they got billed, Plume is now trying to become a transfer agent because they already got approved. I wonder if this explains this piece right here. And let me share this with you, folks. Something different. So right here, Plume announces that they're looking for a particular type of person. Let's talk about this. Today, I was on social media and Ashby came up because one of the individuals who are subscribed to my platform on the Plume Goons, where I post on X about Plume related topics, they follow me and they posted this. See, data can come from anywhere. And they said, Underdog, make sure you tell your community about this. And I told them I'm going to check this out about a particular Plume announcement that they're looking for a compliance manager. And if I researched it and it found out to be true, I would then share it with my community because I try to eliminate as much as possible fake information. And I don't know the person, so I verify before I talk to you about it. This is what she shared, and I verified it, and it was true. This is what I found. Company overview. Plume posted on Ashby, a company that does job listings for major institutional investors, the following post. Plume Network Incorporated is seeking a broker-dealer license in connection with extending its digital real-world asset infrastructure to U.S. customers. Let me just stop right there. I could stop right there. And that is huge news. Did you hear what I just said? It's specifically about the United States, but why are they seeking this person? Why does that matter? Keep listening. Plume Network is a modular Ethereum-based blockchain platform specializing in real-world assets, tokenization finance, founded to bridge institutional finance and blockchain. It launched its mainnet June of 2025 and has rapidly grown over 480 million in total value locked, and Plume user wallets account for over 50% of RWA holdings across all blockchains globally. This article that she sent me to that I found and verified right there is giving you some huge information. You've now found out that the project of Plume launched in June. Let's do some basic math. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We're talking about 6 months. 6 months. If anyone says they've lost their money in Plume in 6 months, then you should question their trading because they're horrible traders. Because the only way you could lose your money since it released in June of 2025 and launched its mainnet is that you sold after Bitcoin dropped from 125,000 to underneath 85,000, and it dropped from 13 to 16 cents to the current price of 2 cents. Do you believe your entry for everybody else right now is 2 cents? Could it go down lower? I could care less. I think about the potential of going back up to where it was, but I digress. The second thing that's important, 50% of all RWAs in the global ecosystem are Plume. That's huge. Let's keep going. Investors include Apollo Global Management, Brevin Howard Digital, F Prime Capital, Galaxy Ventures, Han Ventures, Nomura Laser Digital, and other leading crypto native and trading finance investors. Plume recently joined MasterCard's Start Path Incubator Program as the compliance director for Plume's broker-dealer and transfer agents operations. You will build and administer the compliance architecture for U.S. Gateway to a universe of on-chain RWAs. Folks, read the very beginning one more time. Is seeking a broker-dealer's license. Now, I just gave you connections. You've heard me talk about Brevin Howard. You know the projects that's connected to. Now you done found out who's behind this. And they're not only a transfer agent approved, they're trying to be a broker. The project token, utility token, is Plume Network token. It's currently at 2 cents. Again, I can't give you advice. All I'm trying to say, if it's currently at 2 cents and they're trying to become a broker, they're getting listed on Coinbase. You got backing from the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, is connected to World Liberty Finance. Whether you like them or not, you can't ignore it. The institutional investors will be greedy. As long as they're greedy, they're going to absolutely try to take money out of Plume. Don't get into this project, in my personal opinion, if you believe that it's only going to go up and up and up, and that people who put millions or billions of dollars into this project won't come collecting. They will come collecting. It's up to you to understand whether or not you have the stomach for crypto to be in it, see it go up, and if you win, if you win and it's 10%, that's your choice. Pull the trigger. If you have more stomach, you want to wait till it goes up. But sooner or later, they're going to come collecting for their money. Because if I put money into something, guaranteed I'm going to come to collect. So why would we think these institutional investors want to collect either? The game is to understand what's happening before it even lists. Right now, those who are watching this platform, you're early, folks. You're early. Now, that is something I want you to know. Plume gets to narrow listing. If you think Solana is important, I'm going to be talking about that. If you think Bitcoin is important, Ether is important, if you want an institutional rail to big institutional investors, if you're a retail investor and you want to stick your beak in it, maybe Plume is for you. Now, I'm going to get back over here, folks. I've been talking and sharing with you. You got the announcement. They pull it back up. Don't forget that if you want to become an Underdog research member, I have special exclusive memberships for you. I got 3 right now. Either one of them will work for you, but the one you get the most out of is 66 cents a day. It's simple, folks. If you got more than $20 in Plume, if you trade one crypto thing on Coinbase, the fees it costs you to trade one time is less than it would cost you to get this information. It takes me a lot of time, effort, and money to do these. So I hope that y'all get that. Let me put this up for you. And I have 3 things I want to talk about. So scan this QR code right now. Share this video with your family members and others. I'm trying to help you to see it. What about the Robinhood? I haven't talked about that. See, the people, there's so much happening like this. Robinhood 2.0 is going to be connected to Plume. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that's about? I will be telling you about that to the members so you can be in the position to win. But let's get to you here. And I got 3 more things I want to share with you about Plume that I think is important. Folks, let's see where we're at. We're over here live on the Underdog Research channel. I got a lot of people here. And I'm happy that you're here with me. Now, let's see who's in the chat room, what questions you have. We got here. We talked about the unlocks earlier. Okay, Phantom Beat says, plume of smoke from the explosive rally that will happen when people catch on to this. Listen, folks, this is my opinion. Don't take this as advice. There is a 2-cent project. Forget it. The name is Plume. You have Coinbase listing a project that's currently at time of this 2 cents. That's pretty inexpensive. 2 pennies. $1, 2 cents are going to $1 50 times. So you know that you can get around almost 50 tokens of Plume. Hear me out. This is just, again, not trading advice. I'm just trying to think logically. If you're a crypto gambler, you may be thinking, well, you know, it was 16 cents and it went down to 2 cents. My entry is at a low entry. Will the announcement and people onboarding onto a major tier 1 platform like Coinbase cause the price to go up any bit? If you believe that people will onboard because it's on Coinbase and it goes up from 2 cents to 3 cents or 2 cents to 2.5 cents, then you're winning. If you're a crypto gambler, just the odds might be in your favor. If you're a crypto retail investor, a trader, and you're not a gambler, then you're going to look at the current entry price and you're going to consider the fact that its potential in the last 6 months has been all the way 16 cents. Somebody we can pull up now and find out the exact price, but I know it was at least 13, 16 cents because I saw that personally in my portfolio. And you do the math. You're like, hey, you know what? I think I can make a quick 20%, 30% gain when with the listing, the announcement, the citing, people are going to go and buy it. I think I'll make a gain. They're going to make a trade. It's going to go up. They're going to sell it for 30%. They're going to get out and they make money off of it. And lastly, is most of us, crypto hodlers. Here's the thing. You may or may not purchase this project depending on your personal decision. Has nothing to do with Underdog's likes or wants. Is whatever you decide to do, you hold on to it. And it goes up to 13 cents, and then it goes back down to 8 cents, and it goes up to 20 cents, and goes back down, and you may not sell at a profit. That is up to you. But in the next 5 years, next 10 years, do you believe that real world assets, this particular project being number one, can maintain that? If you believe so, imagine if it went to $1, $2. Now, this is not a price prediction. Those are fake. Price predictions are fake. No one knows what it would be. No one knows. No one knows. But what I'm saying is, imagine that it goes up to $1, and that's like a 50x. Imagine for every dollar you had, you get $50 for every dollar you had. For me, I weigh that out. Is it worth the $20 a month that would cost you to get all the information you can research for you on the Underdog Research Channel by scanning that QR code? For me, you're not a real investor unless you're willing to spend $20 for a potential of over $20. And that makes sense. Why would you not? I can't tell you to do it. I'm just telling you that it doesn't make sense. Either one of those scenarios, you would be in a good position. So that's my thoughts. I just want to put that out there. Phantom Beat has a good thought. He said, exactly. Thank you, Detroit XRP. Hiro Tanami, 6066. Plume Network is working with the SEC as well as agency RWA, very bullish. I can see why you would be. It's interesting, folks. Hiro Tanami, we're dealing with institutional money and we early still, but the wave is building. So hodl and take profits. I love it. No arguments there. Detroit XRP 313. I agree. This is more like crypto research. That's why I want to master it of crypto. Absolutely. Thank you for seeing that, folks. I'm going to start telling people that more because I think that it's just the culture. We've been so used to people telling us fake price predictions, so used to people telling us, hey guys, this didn't I tell you this? And they didn't tell you anything. They just hyped it up. And then when people tell you something negative, they call it FUD. Then when the project fails, like 90% of them, they like, why didn't you tell us? Listen, at the end of the day, we all are at the mercy of open source intelligence. That is information you get from the online sources. If those sources are paid and they got millions of dollars invested in marketing and people lie or inflate the truth, then the content you receive will still have some biases of that lie. But on top of that, YouTube incentivizes these content creators like myself to say the things you want to hear, because think about it. If I get low viewership, YouTube won't play my video. If you don't like or share it, you watch this whole video and you don't like or share it, YouTube doesn't show the videos. They will show the videos of content creators who tell you hype, and now you got the most biased version. It's been hard for 5 years staying in a space where I can give you researchable information without hyping it. And again, the problem is YouTube gives you compensation for your viewership. And if you don't like, you don't share, then content creators like myself, researchers, go to the background and your algorithm literally puts forward who has higher CTR, click-through rates, who has higher viewership. So then you watch it and it says, hey, this crypto project is going to the moon. Once you click on it, it keeps suggesting other projects. Now you're caught in the funnel of lies. And my video never gets viewed. You never find out about what I know. And then you are in a position that it's not a position to win. It's a position of hype. Then it falls out from underneath you and you didn't have the resources. So I implore you, $20 a month is very inexpensive. I have a private site too that I'm not even talking about at this moment, and that you can go to, and that will get you notifications, special research, and that will help put you in a position to win. So make sure that you staying up on your research. True deep dive analysis of a project, no jokes or shilling. Absolutely. Thank you, Phantom Beat. I appreciate it. He's been rolling with me since the beginning, so I appreciate that, brother. Jack Thompson. Hello, Shalom Underdog. Still buying Plume, sir. At mom's, can't stay. But best wishes to you, sir. Plume on sale, baby. I love it. I love it. Jack Thompson, I'll be in touch, sir. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you being here. folks, I got a couple more things. I appreciate you being here today. Let's talk about the last few things and we're going to wrap this conversation up. I've been taking up your time. Plume listed on Coinbase is the conversation. Why does this matter? Plume listed on Coinbase. Why does this matter? I mean, it was already listed on crypto.com. It was already listed as a decentralized wallet of Coinbase. Now it's listed on Coinbase. There's been a listing already, but deployed contract on Uniswap. Why does Underdog Researcher care that it's listed on Coinbase? Let me give you 3 reasons, and then we're going to close this out. First reason is why you should pay attention as an investor is enhanced liquidity. You see, with its announcement of listing on Coinbase, it's easier for users to buy and sell, reducing price slippage. You can be on Uniswap, but there's going to be only so many people even know about it. And it's decentralized. A lot of people don't know how to use decentralized wallets, and liquidity might not be as high. By it being listed on Coinbase, you have a better opportunity because Coinbase is a tier 1 top dog. That's a huge thing. 2 of the 3 things I want to tell you. Why should crypto investors pay attention? It's increased legitimacy, passing Coinbase strict review as a layer of trust. I'm telling you, Coinbase has the highest standards. Coinbase reviews these projects in depth. Plume launched its mainnet in June, and already in less than a year, in less than 6 months, other people have told you about other projects that are not listed on Coinbase. Underdog Researcher told you about a project that no one's talked about, and it's already being listed on Coinbase. It's already got the Binance listing. It already got Crypto.com, Kraken, Uniswap at 2 cents. If that's not early, what is? So just imagine if it already, let me pull this up too. If it already went all the way up to the 16-cent mark, and we're about to find right now, I'm going to go to Coin Market Cap so you can see it for yourself. If it already went up that high since its listing, what could it do? So let me pull this up, and then I'll give you the last one, folks, and so that we'll be on the same page. We're going to pull up Plume on Coin Market Cap because I want to give you some realistic information about it. Nice. It's went down even further. I love it. So let me show you where it's at right now. So let's pull this up. Let me share the screen with you. Here we go. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Share screen. And that's going to Plume price day. Now, folks, this is what you can see on Plume's price. Let me make it big. All right. Now, let me see if I can make it even bigger. All right. So today, folks, Plume's price is under 2 cents. The current market cap is $62 million. Let's go down and see what else we can find. We have a volume in the last 24 hours at the time of this video is 38.22%, 23.9 million, up 46.15% in the centralized exchanges. So it's going up. Why is it going up? Right here, it's because of that Coinbase listing announcement. Now let's go a little bit more. Woo, Lord have mercy. I love it. Look, you might not think this is huge, but I love it. Let me make this a little bit bigger. You can see right here, and look with me, folks. You can go here yourself. It's down 91.96% since its all-time high. Let me make sure this is right. This is wonderful. I love this. It is right. I love this. So it's about to get a Coinbase listing. I put this on 1 year. It's all-time high. I've been saying 16 cents. It came out March the 19th, 2025. So I told you about it the very next month in June. And it came out released at 24 cents. So your purchase right now from the all-time high would be 91% down. This is beautiful, folks. But check it out. October the 10th is when it's at all-time low. So it's even above its all-time low. Its all-time low was 1/8 of a cent. As I was, it was 1.8 cents. And now you can see as of today, according to Coin Market Cap, it's up from that all-time low 9.37%. So in reality, this is beautiful. Wow. I did not realize that. That's wonderful. So for me, in reality, this 91% down, Coinbase listing it onto their site in the next 1 to 6 weeks is huge, because if it just returns back to this 24 cents and I got it in at 2 cents, woo, let me go ahead and turn this off. This got me excited. I learned something myself. I didn't even realize that at the time. So let me take that part off. Let me come back here. So folks, wasn't even expecting to see that. So what I just saw, how I see that, and again, this is not price action channel. This is not a trading platform. You won't see me say, hey guys, here's the facilitators and trickles and the 5-second mark. I don't do all that. I give you research. I'll let you do your trading strategies on your own. But the way I see it is I believe in the technology. And Plume and Ondo are some of the top dogs in the space. They just got announced by Coinbase when about today is 4 days ago at the time in which you're watching this, 4 days ago. And one of the things they have to do to have a strict protocol to be enlisted, they've got 20 right now, crypto's down and they brought in $24 million in a 24-hour period. They're rocking, folks. And they're not well known RWAs, which brings me to my next part is why should crypto investors pay attention to this Coinbase listing? The broader accessibility. Coinbase opens the asset to Coinbase's massive user base of retail and institutional investors. That's why you should pay attention to that. That's huge, folks. And someone asked a question that I think is important. Let me bring this up. And I want you to read this. Plume question from a retail investor. This was on one of the sites that was in Chinese sites. December the 3rd. Curious, do you think the current demand justifies a fast track? What's your take, bro? So I want to talk about that question because I think it's important. Let me take it off right now. Do you think the current demand justifies the listing on Coinbase? This is the hardest part for me to explain to people, and I'm gonna get to your comments. As a matter of fact, let me put this up here. And I'll bring that up as well. Let me pull this up here because I think this goes hand in hand. Issa Jasmine 2197 says, can you tell how Plume up if market going down? And this like 2026. I think I understand your question, but I'm gonna bring it up because I think it's important. Now, this question is, do you think the current demand justifies a fast track? What's your take? If you don't, I'm going to call you a crypto enthusiast, okay? Because I don't want to call you investors, folks. I want to call you crypto enthusiasts. You're in the market. You might buy some. You may sometimes look at entries and trading signals and technical analysis and research. You enjoy going to YouTube and looking up videos for entertainment. On a Sunday, you're sitting here rocking with me, listening to about Plume, a cryptocurrency real world asset project. So does the current demand with crypto down justify its fast track? Two things I think is important. One, this user, retail investor, recognizing the fast track. Folks, how many people have you listened to have content creators who talk about a project for over a year and that's never been listed on Coinbase that you would love when Coinbase? Plume is being listed on Coinbase in 1 to 6 weeks. That's huge. But it's a fast track. I've told you why it's a fast track. Does it justify the current demand? Yes. Why does it justify the current demand? This is what I need you to see, everybody. Stop looking at value based on token price. BlackRock, Blackstone, Grayscale, Hampton Lane is who Plume stated to you that they are serving. DeFi loops, they stated. These are institutional investors. We see this, and I'm going to bring it up here so you can see it. Read it. Plume to acquire Dinero. Now it's already acquired. Accelerating institutional ETH, SOL, Bitcoin, expansion. Believe Plume. Believe them. If someone says they are, believe that they are here for institutional investors. Now, I know that hurts, but what is the fast track? The fast track, folks, is this right here. The broader accessibility of Plume's listing on Coinbase opens Plume for massive user base in retail and institutional investors. This is a signal. You look at trading signals and you look at technical analysis, I promise you that these institutional investors have hedge fund managers and employees who are assigned to an account that has millions to billions that they oversee, and they look for market signals to determine whether or not they want to invest in that company. Plume is giving a message loud and clear with its connection to the president, vice president, BlackRock, Blackstone, Hamilton Lane, Credco, and all the other ones that they already have done. And now accessibility to retail investors, which Coinbase is that avenue, with Binance, with the acquisition of Dinero, with institutional expansion of Solana, of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, with the Nest project. They are 100% sending a message. Privacy and security through zero knowledge technologies. Coinbase, as I said, Grayscale, Digital Currency Group. What message are they sending? That they are connected and that they have intentions to bring in money to big investors. All you have to do is not believe in Plume, believe in greed of these companies. I believe in the greed 100%. And as long as I believe that there's greed in the market from a company who's willing to take your money, then I can believe that Plume is going to give them different ways of give different products that they can take your money and make money. And I'm following the greed. So I'm following the money. So, folks, that is the conversation that I have today about Plume. That is the complete conversation. Now, I'm going to turn to you, and then I'm going to see if there's any final questions. Again, if you have not already join the Underdog Research channel, scan my QR code right here, become a member. There's benefits at every level, but the best benefit is 66 cents a day, $19.99 a month. And that's not even including my private site that I have as well, which allows you to get exclusive content. And after today, I will be giving exclusive coverage on Plume. I'm finishing up on my Swiftcoin mini series, which also talked about it. And for the public non-members on my community, I have the Connected series and the CyberPaw podcast. Those are all products that I create. CyberPaw podcast you can watch and listen to, and they get released early to the members, and then everyone else sees them and you get early access. And then there's exclusive content that is not released publicly for my exclusive members at the analyst level. I'm giving you all this. It's $20. If you don't have $20, but you're willing to buy Ethereum and sell it, and you're going to spend on fees more than that on Coinbase, then you're not truly an investor. You are a gambler. So please, folks, Don't be behind. So let's see what else y'all have to say, and then I'm gonna get out of here, folks. I've been took up too much of your time, but I hope that you've enjoyed this content today. Let me put the topic right back up here that I started off with about Plume. Plume, we know, was listed or will be listed on Coinbase. All right, folks, let's get back to you up here. Let's go back to what we was talking about, see what you had to say. Here we go. We got better question. Does it matter in 2027 future value? Let's talk about that in a second. I'll go back to it. Thank you for that. That's Ray Get It. Does it matter in 2027 future value? Now, I'm going to be cautious because people will clip my videos and they only want to hear what they want to hear. I want to be cautious about when people say, does something matter? And I'll tell you why. Let me pull this up here too. Value, meaning retail value with the token price, or value, meaning the industry of real world assets. If you're asking me about value, I don't look at token price, which doesn't make a lot of people happy because you're so used to people telling you, hey, this is going to go up to this much and this is going to be $1 or it's going to hit $2. You'll never hear that on my platform. But what I believe is that Larry Fink and other big wigs, Larry Fink of BlackRock and other big wigs, and the laws have changed and they will continue to change. And those laws state that real world assets is an asset class that can be offered through institutional rails. JP Morgan Bank and other big wigs are jumping on the bandwagon. MasterCard, Western Union. I believe in greed. And I believe that these institutional investors find this as a project. They don't need to like it. They don't need to love it. They just see it as an opportunity to make money. And so in 2027, I think we'll be even more integrated. Currently, we got 3 more years at the least under the Karen administration. So right now, the power is currently in that ball game, Now afterwards, there's going to be some scrutiny, I think, because of the nature of our politics in the United States, but it's a global thing. So I see that this is an issue that is going to win elections. So I think that both sides in the United States, no matter what party you're for, are not going to want to lose voters. So they're going to keep investing in things that won the election. Affordability and future wealth. So 2027, I think real world assets are going to be huge. I also don't want you to forget, because I keep saying it and y'all want to ignore it. Let me put it up here. Folks, all of this is made possible through zero knowledge technology. So you're going to continue to hear me hit home. It's not sexy. Real world assets is one thing. None of it can be possible without zero knowledge tech. Watch my platform, you'll understand what that means, and I'll keep giving you more details. And on my private site, I give you understanding by specifically giving you training to train you to better understand what this is specifically. Zero knowledge tech enables Plume, and that allows institutional rails to make money at privacy and security. So let's go to the next conversation. It's actually BYDUFI. Thanks for the information. Thank you very much. Good statement. Thank you very much. That includes finance as well for that as well. Let's go to the next one. Cloud 9963. Plume, the token value has value and is used for both staking and gas fees and DeFi. Absolutely. So Plume has a value for those. Again, I try not to focus on that type of value only because I think it makes people not truly understand what the RWA aspect is. Tokenization RWAs, we go over it and then we put value based on token price. There's plenty of projects, plenty of content creators who will continue to give you that value based on token price. I do not. I will not, because it really dilutes the understanding of how big Plume could potentially be. Again, I can't give you advice, but the value is not based on the token price, folks. The value is based on if institutional rails see how they can create a different asset class that they can profit from, then we are following that money to say that we should probably follow what they are doing. And if we can get a piece of that pie early, then you probably should consider getting a piece of that pie. That's why I see value. So I hope you get that. Securitize, I talked about this in my Connected series. Securitize is an institutional rail that allows BlackRock Build, Hampton Lane Scope product. You might not know about that. There are different products. Hampton Lane is the biggest and baddest, and they have credits, and they have different types of things that they are into investment-wise. It's bigger than just BlackRock Build and Hampton Lane. They got Blackstone. They have Credco. They have so many different companies underneath that portfolio. Securitize allows them to sell products as well. Nest, though, allows us retail investors to stick our beaks in it. Plume has Nest. Securitize is dealing with these same products, but for these institutional investors. I think that's important to see the distinction. Now, one thing people don't realize, which I'll talk about, Securitize has products that Nest also can connect to through their 8 vaults. In my Connected series, I go through those vaults. So that's something you should know as well. My friend's company, he works for, this is Phantom Beat. My friend's company he works for is owned in part by Vanguard. He still can wrap his mind around the products I was showing him to invest in. He still can't wrap. I'm sure he said can't wrap around products I was showing him to invest in. And that's so interesting. So even that, like I said, Vanguard, you have these people, not everyone understands this area. So that's why it's so important, this education, teaching you about it. You can't get it all at once. That's why I've broken it down in my different series, the Connected series, free for all to see. Then I got Connected Tissue. That brings you back into a particular area. Then Connected Bites, that breaks down one particular topic. Then I got the specialized series that I have on my members only series, which Plume is about to be a part of. Specialized projects where I talk about in-depth connections and the ways these fit in. And so there's something for everyone, but I feel it's better just not to shotgun blast you so you can see it for yourself. All right. Ray Get It 5721. To clarify, I was asking a rhetorical question as an answer to the person who asked if the current demand justified the Coinbase listing. The price is just a distraction. The value is in the protocol. I can't say it better. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to read it again because, I mean, that said it very concisely, folks. To clarify, and let's go back to what he's talking about so it won't be confusing to anybody who just may be tuning in. We've been here for over an hour, so I want to make sure that you don't get lost in the sauce with what I'm talking about here. Let me pull this up for you. This is the question, and I'm going to put it with Ray Get It's response. The question from a retail investor on one of the websites said the following: do you think the current demand justifies a fast track? What is your take? This is a retail investor on another site asking Coinbase, basically, or the site that listed the Coinbase listing, do you think the current demand for Plume justifies this fast track to Coinbase? What is your take? Ray Get It 5721, his clarification is this response. So pay attention, folks. To clarify, I was asking a rhetorical question as an answer to the person who asked if the current demand justified the Coinbase listing. The price is just a distraction. The value is the protocol. Man, that's beautiful, bro. It brought a Denzel Washington tear to my eyes. He gets it. He gets it completely. You can tell he understands it completely. Folks, Plume Network, Plume token. The network, the ecosystem, and let me pull this up so we're talking about the same thing. I want you to see it. That's why I make all these visuals and I ask you to share it so you can see it, folks. The network, the ecosystem that we are seeing here, and give me a second as I pull this up for you. That's what's important. The ecosystem of Plume is not just a token. It is a whole ecosystem with connected parts. And these connected parts have been built Plume allows it to look like it's going to a bank and make it easy for you to understand. You integrate into it. So the ecosystem itself is the value. They're allowing institutional investors to stick their beak into this RWA world. That's important. The token is a byproduct used for fees. It has an intrinsic value, but if you focus on that utility token and the price action, what Ray Get It is saying is you're losing the purpose and the value. That's a distraction. And it is a big mistake to look at a product at 2 cents and only put the value based on the current market price of the token and say that's the value. I don't think that way. And that's why this is not a crypto trading platform. This is a crypto research platform. So as you look, I promise you'll see some bad comments on my platform. People saying, hey, the price is going down. I'm losing all my money. Respond to them. I do. I'm sorry to hear that. But I never look at value based on the price action. I understand what this is. The ecosystem that Chris Yen and his partners have built is huge. And they're not the first in the space, but they specialize in this one space. And everyone else is going to be on board. And in the future, people who want to onboard are going to go to this company, Plume, and they're going to say, we want to get products, an asset class that you offer, help us. And they build out the ecosystem for them. So that was great. So thank you for sharing that with us. Sorry, I can't wrap his mind around. Yes. And it's hard, folks. Technology is difficult to understand. Zero knowledge technologies is hard for me to explain to people sometimes. And in RWAs, people say the word, it's hard for people to understand. That's why I say a stable coin is an RWA. Saying that throws people off. Oh my God. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's one of the most successful RWAs, a stable coin is. And if you understand that, and I'll help you to understand that through my training and research, then you understand how big this is. Could the SEC and CFTC make it mandatory ZK be used for all banking crypto? They basically have. Now, I'm not going to give you any false information. Can they make it mandatory? Absolutely. But why? How? Because they enable privacy and security and how much information and KYC is released publicly. The EU has done this for years ago. EU changed all its laws. And look at right now, X is being sued because of content violations because they didn't comply with EU. They're being sued for millions of dollars. So can SEC make it mandatory that financial rails, RWAs, have privacy and security? They already have. They just didn't say the word zero knowledge proofs. Now, this is the way I look at it. There's optimisms is another way that you can secure things. Zero knowledge proofs is another way. There's other different ways that people can do it. But what has been learned in our current technology is zero knowledge proof technology, verifying information without disclosing all the information you know, but can verify you know the information. Sounds confusing, but it makes sense mathematically. Is currently one of the top places in that space. We see this with Vitalik Buterin, invested millions, who's talked about revitalizing ZKPs for Ethereum. That's going to be part of the scalability. Privacy and security is also scalability. So it's absolutely possible that these big companies like SEC in the United States and the CFTC can make it mandatory that they use zero knowledge technologies, but they may not say that word zero knowledge technologies because they don't make laws that are that specific. They got to make them general so they can stretch and change as technology grows. But I can see them say, hey, you need to hit these markers. And the logic is zero knowledge technologies will be the technology they use in order to enable privacy and security for money rails. XLM announced they're using ZKE. I love it. I love it. See, this is what I love about it. You know, you got Hiro Tamani 6066. As you can see right there, he's a member at the analyst level on Underdog Research Channel. You see his little mark right there. Thank you for being here today. XLM, Stellar, Zero Knowledge Technologies, and Plume as well, Zero Knowledge Technologies. I could go more and more in depth on that, but you get it, folks. Folks, we are at the hour and 43-minute mark. It was unexpected, but this was helpful. Hopefully that you enjoyed this conversation about Plume. They are getting listed on Coinbase. I appreciate you watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed, share the video, and if you want to go to extra level, spend 66 cents and become a member at the analyst level. I got a whole series, and we're about to launch this Plume series. I'll still give out other content free for my community, but there's going to be exclusive content for those who want the inside scoop, deep research, all here for you. And I'm here for you, folks. Plume is getting listed, folks, on Coinbase. We also have a last comment was a great stream. Love the information. Thank you for your time. Hey, thank you very much. Tips. Let me see if I can say it right. Tips. I'm bad at game. Wait a second. Tips. I'm bad at game. I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you for joining. This is the first time I've seen you in the chat, so I appreciate everybody who's new and my members. Coming up this week, folks, you're going to see a few more content released. I do also want to announce. Let me bring this out before we go. Did you like the video? Let me play this real quick before we go. This is by a friend of the channel. He has his own platform called Indigo Saint. Let me play it real quick for you. His song called Plume Goons. It's only 16 seconds. It's going to be at the end too, but let's play this too. 1 second, folks. Check this out. I love it. I love it. So that is Indigo Saint. I'm going to share 3 resources with you before I go. He made this song a few weeks ago, probably about 2 months ago, called Plume Goons. And it's the first time I released it when I shared this. Awesome creator and writer, but he also has a content on different platforms. So let me share 3 resources for you, and then I'm going to let you get out of here. I appreciate your time. First, let's talk about Black Rue and Black Rue Investing. He is one of the people that I think you should know about. Black Rue Investing has a great channel. He is also, we have partnered in the past. He was one of the people I watched before I even started my channel 5 years ago. Black Rue Investing is a person I trust, and that's why I'm going to tell you about. He trusts, he'll give you research, no hype. He goes in depth, and he spends a lot of time, constantly has content that I think is important. He has both a private site and a Patreon. Please take the time to go to Black Rue Investing, one and number one in the spaces. I also want to share another person with you that I think is important to share. Let's talk about the Third Eye. This is Indigo Saint. Also had a channel called The Third Eye. I want to share that with you because it's important that you have resources. Now, The Third Eye has a different type of platform. Unlike other platforms that are typically just trading signals or research, he talks about not the social aspect. He talks about trading. Here we see one. He talks about DeFi, technical analysis, and why Plume made a 8% move. He integrates not only how to trade, but from a technical analysis standpoint, but teaching you so you understand the concepts. I see him talk about market is an auction. He talks about trading foundations. He also has content that you can see called VWAP, how to use VWAP when you trade, and his good trades, and he'll talk about his daily life. He has more of a blog type content, so you're going to see more social aspects when you talk about him. So make sure you check out Third Eye if you really want to get into trading from the basics in the privacy of your own home. He also has a collaboration with me, so you can see him on my private site, and you go through crypto trading videos that you can watch there as well for paid members as well. And last but not least, I want to share one more resource with you, which is fairly new, but it's a good resource, and that is going to be Crypto Crossroads. Now, Crypto Crossroads is a former is still currently a member of the Black Root community who created a few months ago their own platform, and they've been taking off. Now, currently they got 737 subscribers, and that doesn't equate to the value. They have different things such as Mocha Network as well. And then finally, as you know, this is the Underdog Research Channel. You can find me on X. You can find me here on YouTube. And I also have a paid private site. I have content that is not released on X or on YouTube on my private site. Typically, the links to that is in the videos. Look through the description. I also try to time code all my videos so you can go through it, find the specific things that are applicable to you, and put yourself in a position to win. I've been doing content for about 5 years. I'm a digital forensic scientist, and I also do open source intelligence and cyber investigations, and I merge all that together to give you research over the hype. We don't always win, but we always get you the right information so you can make a decision that you think best fits for you. And make sure you always put this on a big screen TV, folks. This content is created for viewing. So if you look at these visuals, I make them right there, easy for you to view. Share this on your TV. I promise you have a better experience. I hope that this has been helpful for you folks. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been the Underdog Research Channel. All right. Thank you.
Be the Plume goon since start down, need permission, I stay real with it. Lay on foundation, know it's gon' build, bro, I been biddle with it. Your homeboy check the cash out, smart contracts with a cash out. Everybody want smoke till I turn the dare, show you where the hash at. Spun the block, turns out I been Black Rock. Protocol, treasuries, barns on me, got them padlocked. Been the best out, they can imitate. Get the best out, then you integrate. Ask Ondo, who Rambo, drew first blood, boy, I been a great. Everybody think they starboard, I'm in orbit. Stella still, hella Stella though. I like Swift better for the corporates. I'm the enterprise, I took the knives. Hamilton on chain. Zero knowledge, always never improvise. The White House, know my name.